Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of the Hyper-Conscious Podcast. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode where we are lucky enough to sit down with Joseph Price and talk about all sorts of addictions.
Oh, yeah.
Porn addictions, digital addictions, shopping addictions, all of that, and the mindset behind it. That was a truly fire episode. Today, for episode number 323, we are going to hit you with a 5-minute clinic on using this downtime to build yourself up. If we're still dealing with the coronavirus, we're still dealing with being quarantined and social distancing, how can we use that time to get out of this anxiety zone and start putting that into something productive and constructive?
So before we jump to this episode, really quickly, I want to talk to you about coaching and the value of it. If you look at any professional athlete that's had a tremendous career, a lot of them attribute so much of their growth and success to their coaches. Imagine someone who will help you work on your life, not just in your life. I was on a peak performance business call last night where the person actually booked me again later this week because of how valuable that call was. Because someone who believes in you, who has an outside bird's eye view of your life, is going to be able to come up with so many distinctions that you could not.
I just got another client, so I think I have one spot available now. Guys, just imagine being the most confident, courageous version of yourself with the most clarity that you've ever had. We all want something greater. Sometimes we just need somebody to help us uncover what that is and then form a system to chase that every single day. That is what I will give to you. All right, let's get into this.
Strong work.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we were with Mark Metry yesterday at his condominium gym.
Yep.
Right? We were practicing our social distancing. It was just us three. There was nobody else. We wiped everything down before and after.
Right.
And we were talking to Mark about we're in a very unique time. We're in a very strange time. We're in a very stressful and scarce time where everybody's freaking out.
Right.
But at the end of the day, guys, we're all in this together. We're all going through some form of scarcity. We're going through some form of fear. Our lives have been really, really thrown all over the place. Our habits are probably out of whack. But there's a couple things here. You can either use this time, and again, I don't suggest you don't worry about what's going on. I want you to worry in your own way, but you should worry about what you can control and plan for the future, right? Don't spend all the time in your head imagining like, what's the worst that could happen all the time, because that's where you're going to live. But what if you took this time to start meditating because you've been waiting to do that for months and work has just been too busy, or to start journaling because, I don't have time to do it during the week before bed because I have to get up super early for work. If you're at home and you're not working, yes, you should be looking for another source of income. But if your company is nice enough to pay you, which I think they should, honestly, while you're not there, why don't you use this time to learn a new thing?
Skill.
Yeah, like a new skill, or I couldn't figure out the word. Or I was going to say what's the word I'm trying to say? Not a new thing, but like, is there something that you've always wanted to learn about? Is there a book you've always wanted to read? Have you always wanted to write? Have you always wanted to do art? Have you always wanted to record a song? What have you been waiting to do? Like, we have this time now. We get to do with it what we choose. And I truly believe that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. How you react to this situation is going to determine the rest of your year.
I had a moment yesterday when we were sitting at the table after we had worked out. It was me, Kevin, and Mark Metry with our notebooks out trying to redesign our life based on this new situation. Okay, so all of us are in a new situation, like that is a very big deal, and I totally understand that. But the question becomes, okay, what is within our control, and how do we take the win out of this micro loss? How do you take a macro win out of a micro loss? So we're sitting there, all of us, with our notebooks and literally strategizing about the essentials. So what are the things that matter most? And that's one of the only benefits. So I'm a serial optimist. All of you know that. Obviously, there's some serious challenges happening and some really terrible things happening. But what's wrong is always available. So is what's right. I try to focus on what's right. So, for example, for me, this helps me. None of my loved ones are sick. Yeah. I'm not sick. I'm super healthy. My friends and family are healthy. Like, I'm so grateful for that. Yes, there's so much that I could be not grateful for, but I want to focus on what I can be grateful for. So now that that's the case, use this time, like Kevin said, to work on your life instead of just working in it. So all of us were on our own sort of proverbial mouse wheel in the day-to-day, doing, trying to get after it. when something like this happens, it really shakes all of our snow globe. And I believe that what lands is going to be more of what is truly most valuable. So it puts in perspective how much family matters, how much time maybe you weren't spending with your family, or maybe how much time you weren't spending on your health. For me, I'm eating healthier. Like I believe that all adversity, if you use it as an opportunity for positive change, can actually be a macro win. So there's a lot of really good changes that I'm making, that Kevin's making, and that doesn't mean that the challenge goes away, but it does mean that this is happening whether we like it to or not. All we can do is our absolute best. And I say, instead of just laying bricks, let's redesign the house and lay bricks more effectively. So the last thing I'll say here, the big takeaway on the whiteboard is everyone is going through this. The only question is who among us are going to come out of it better than we went in an effort to help those people who are in the dark. There's a Mark Twain quote, I believe he says that you can never be sick enough to help someone else who's sick. Like, if you're happy, healthy, and productive during this dark time, it will help give hope to other people. And I think that that's really, really important. And that doesn't mean that we don't take precautions and we don't do everything we can. It just means hang on to the light in this dark time.
The other thing, too, is often after a rock bottom comes an amazing moment. And I think that Alan was saying this, but like gratitude is the attitude. I truly believe like gratitude determines your attitude. If we're all feeling like this, we're kind of hitting rock bottom. Like this has never happened like this to any of us that are living, really. We've never had anything like this. And we're all going through this. Imagine how many amazing ideas are going to come out of this. It's like you are capable of coming out of this with something amazing. So many people are going to do that. The question is, will you be one of those? If you're listening to this, you're capable of that 100%. And I just think that we're all hitting a bit of a rock bottom here, and rock bottom is a great place to build from. And it's just a matter of what do you want to build. We're all in it together.
We got to go, but I did want to say one or two more things very, very quickly. Okay, number one is I believe that after this, everyone will take their health more seriously, which I'm excited about. I think after this, people, when bad things happen, it brings you back to the basics of core values that really matter. Family, health, friendship, how you're making your money, not just how much, where you're spending your time. It brings you back to really reflect. So hospitals, I believe, will optimize and run more efficiently. Businesses that are predicated on luxuries that aren't basic human values, I think, will struggle more than those that really matter. So there's a lot of good that will come of this, and that does not mean that I'm lessening the challenge. I want people to try their hardest to look on the bright side. We always want to spread positivity on this podcast, but we also want to pull back the curtain on the dark stuff too.
Of course.
The dark is there, but so is the light, and the key is what are we going to do with the dark to make it lighter. That's all I've got.
That's all I have as well. Ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, stay productive, try to stay happy, and practice some things that you've been putting off. Now is a great time to go within yourself, explore yourself. There's so much going on in the external world. Let's try to control the internal world of ourselves. We hope you enjoyed this, and we will talk to you on Wednesday.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.